In this video, I'm going to take a look at and review CMRT Essential HUD, which allows you to make your Assetto Corsa user interface whilst racing look absolutely fantastic, along with removing all the hassle of trying to find random widgets and applications from over the internet. CMRT Essential HUD is making things simple and beautiful. Thank you for clicking the like button, subscribing, using our affiliate links in the description and being members. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe I'd be on a private jet. Maybe you guys are ruining my life. I don't know. But either way, thank you very much for supporting us. So on the screen here, you can see we've got the CMRT applications positioned up the top and some down the bottom. Now you can position these however you want. You know, it's a Assetto Corsa. You just right click on them and then you can move them around and right click and it'll lock them into place. I found this arrangement like this at the top is really quite nice, especially for my live streams. I have a gap here on the right because that's where the live stream chat is. From left to right, I'm going to explain what each application is and does just very quickly so you get an idea of what you get in this pack of user interface items. So on the top left we have the real world time. Yes, it's 5:30 in the morning. I don't know what's wrong with me. The race time as far as the server or the actual virtual race is concerned, it's 3:54 at Donington. We've got a track map here which is really nice and clear and clean. It shows you who's in first place. You can see the other cars. They're all coloured accordingly to if they're blue flagged in front, behind and what have you. Really nice. We have the sector time here and the fastest lap time bar here. So whoever's got the fastest lap in the session, very nice and clear. We've got the race timing board. So we can see where we are, our position. It cuts it to who's ahead and below you. It's sort of like a real-time delta, if you will. This board also shows what laps are left, what lap you're on, and also lights up with flags for where you if you've got a yellow flag, if you've got a blue flag, and when the race finishes, it just goes white with race finish. Really nicely animated and really clear, so you don't even have to be looking at it to be like, oh, there's a flag happening. You know, it's really good. I really actually quite like how that operates. We've got a delta bar at the top, which is very similar to iRacing's delta bar. You can just click on it here to go through the different modes of the delta bar. We then have a tyre app on the right, which shows you the current tyre temperature, and it's animated and lights up as you drive in 3 different segments for each tyre. Really cool, looks awesome, very clear as to what's going on and what's going on with each tyre and why what you're doing is causing what happens. You can also click this, and when you first go to track, when you have different tyre compounds, it gives you a good hint as to how many laps with the tyres. The tyres will be high grip, medium grip and low grip. That's really cool if you're sort of new or you're not familiar with the tyres and you know you want to know how long your tyres are likely to last. It even tells you in kilometres. So not when I'm driving. We're not getting 2 laps when I'm driving. But yeah, no, that's a really nice feature, really nice and clear. At the bottom here, we have the RPM gauge, which I think is really nicely done as well. It tells you your current gear and flashes when you need to shift. Really, really obvious. You don't really have to be looking at it to know that you need to shift. You've got your fuel there as well, and information on how much fuel that you're going to have before your car turns off. And then underneath that, we have a pedal app that shows our throttle input, the clutch, the brake. We've got a force feedback gauge on there as well, and then you've got a trail so you can see how badly you are using the brake pedal and the throttle and how much you're overlapping the pedals and how bad you are at trail braking. But basically with those apps you get everything that you need or really would want in a format that looks absolutely fantastic from a single application. Absolutely superb. Now, one of the things that they've done really well is just make stuff look really clear and be really legible whilst you're maybe not focusing on stuff and you're concentrating on driving. A perfect example of that is their implementation of the car radar, where, as you can see here, if you have overlap with another car, you get this red line and the overlap, so you know you've got car overlap. But if there isn't overlap, you can just see that it goes from red, turns yellow, and then you know which side the car is on based off where that yellow bar is. Now, it's so clear and legible that you don't actually have to be looking at the car radar at all. Even in your periphery, you can see, oh, that's where that car's positioned. And that is absolutely crucial, that you don't need to be looking at it. And because your periphery is not that high resolution and a bit blurry, it being minimal is absolutely ideal. And that type of design is also followed through with the RPM gauge, for example, really lighting up red very obviously to let you know, oh, that's when you need to change gear. You're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot. Oh, change gear, I've noticed it. Absolutely superb. Again, the race position board, when you've got flags, when the flag's changing, it goes green flag, blue flag, you get an animation of it scrolling across, making it super clear that without looking at it, there's a flag, this is the situation. Again, you don't have to look at it to know what's going on. Absolutely perfect. And, like, they've really thought about proper user interface from a perspective of if someone's actually driving and concentrating on the driving. You shouldn't have to, like, get your binoculars out and focus on the details. I really love what they've done with that. Now, obviously, I've actually chosen to lay this out how I have, largely in accordance to how I have things set with my live stream. So I've put everything at the top. We've got a gap on the right because that's where my live stream chat is. And you might have noticed I am doing a bit of a cheeky cheat here. I am using part of Streaming Suite BCast tools for the timing board, because I'm going to be a bit negative here. There are a couple of things with this UI app that are missing, and one of them I feel is having a really large timing board. Like, this just stops here. You only get like 5 or 6 names here, whereas I want every name, especially if I'm doing a live stream. I need this for me to be able to see all the positions of where everyone's at. Maybe if you're racing, you might not need that. But for me, this BCast leaderboard is still great. Also, I can click on the names and it jumps to their cameras, which is a good thing sometimes and a bad thing whilst you're driving. You don't normally want to be teleported to another car, but it's certainly exciting. Now, also, there are a couple of things missing, like letting you know if there's DRS and some other features and bits and bobs, but they are obviously working on those things. They're well aware of it, and they have constantly been updating it. If you want to try this out, you can just download the free version from Overtake, or you can pay to get the latest version where they're constantly upgrading and making sure things are really optimized. So again, unlike some other apps where you might find that they cause a bit of jank at times, mostly they don't, but you can have some apps that cause random issues. With this, they're obviously diligently working to make sure everything works really nice and takes advantage of shader patch features and what have you. And you can get it for just $1. You could basically just pay $1, download the latest version and cancel your Patreon, or you can keep your Patreon going and support them. It's up to you what you do, really. But I think they've done a really good job, to be honest, and this is the user interface that I'm going to keep on for me, really. It's going to be interesting to see how they optimize things and how they tighten stuff up, but I'm really, really happy with it. And we did about 5 hours of testing yesterday, and didn't have any issues with it causing stutter or problems, and just really enjoyed the clean user interface and the information. Before we go, I would say I do really recommend, for people that want a super minimal user interface, I would still recommend this Race Essentials app. If you're playing in VR and you're just focusing on what's in the car mostly, I would probably still use this Race Essentials. If you want everything minimal, Race Essentials is probably the way to go. And I would really like CMRT to do a hyper compact element as one of their options. That would be nice to see as well. But you're pretty much covered, to be honest. And it's absolutely fantastic to see this stuff. Before we go, one thing worth pointing out is that you can also do things like adjust the scale of all the items, and you can go through a whole bunch of features using the CMRT settings, which you just pull out by bringing up the CMRT settings app. You'll know about this if you've used Content Manager and Shader Patch in the past. So it's all adjustable as you would expect it to be adjustable. Absolutely superb, guys. Great to see this sort of stuff come to Assetto Corsa. So Fantastic job by CMRT, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you found it useful. Till the next one, take care, happy tea drinking, and goodbye.